Good morning, everyone. Well, it is a beautiful day here today. And on this episode of Adventures with Jesus today, you will receive, I am asking the Lord for a perspective shift, the ability to see things in your life from heaven's perspective. And then what will naturally happen from that is that your beliefs will come back into alignment with what heaven says of you, the way God sees your life. And then the beautiful thing is that your actions follow. Each day, our actions then become, oh, this is the way God sees things. This is what I can believe of what he says. And then this is then how I get to act. Because everything just comes back into alignment with heaven. So that's what I pray for you today as you listen to this. I've been sitting with the Lord for the last little while, just thinking about this transition out of the stay-at-home period and what it'll look like to go back into whatever normal life will look like, what the new normal will look like actually, because there's a shift happening. Things are happening in the spirit, in the physical, that are saying to us, hey, take notice of where you are and take notice of where you're going. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Is the Lord's really laid on my heart to go, Lisa, what do you want life to look like? And how have I created you to live life? Each one of us is here. You know, we often say, oh, you can be anything, you can do anything. And I love the heart behind that, which says that, you know, you're a powerful person, you have choice, you can mold and shape your life. All of those things are true. But the higher truth is, and the truth in the word, is that God has created us all for a purpose. We are here to do something that he specifically fashioned us to do, right? So purpose actually trumps potential because we are here for a reason. If we are the corner piece of the puzzle, then we are never going to be the middle piece of the puzzle. If we are the edge piece of the puzzle, we are never going to be the corner piece of the puzzle. It's not what we were created to do. So potential, instead of being the forerunner, instead of being the first thing that we look at and go, oh, I can do anything, actually gets to come underneath purpose. And we get to say, Lord, thank you for the purpose for which you've made me. And now the potential that you've put in us can take that purpose forward, right? And of course, we get to do all of this with Jesus. This is what Adventures with Jesus today is all about. So I want to encourage you. I've been sitting with the Lord just going, okay, Lord, how did you make me? What are the specific parts that you've put in Lisa that bring the presence of God to the world, right? Because there are things that we love to do. There are things that we're naturally good at, things that we thrive at, things that if we think, if I woke up every day and I could do these things, life would be the happiest version I can think of. And those, the reason we feel that way is because our heart comes into alignment with the way we are purposed to be and the way God has made us to be. And when things fit into that groove and we slot and our train is on the right track and our musical instrument is tuned properly and we play our version of a song, that's when things just fit into alignment, right? Doesn't mean life will be easy, but it does mean life can be simple, right? Jesus all over the place, and he even demonstrated in his own life how life is not easy, but when we're in alignment with the way God created us to be, life can be way more simple than we sometimes make it, because we all tend to complicate things. That is me right there. We're trying to make something more complicated than it needs to be. And the invitation today is just to come back to simple, to come back to what does life look like when I'm in my groove, when I'm walking according to the purpose that God made me for. So there are 3 areas that I'd love you to look at, to sit down with the Lord and go, Lord, what are the specific parts of me? If I'm supposed to be the corner of the puzzle, Rebecca says she can, right? If I'm supposed to be the corner of the puzzle, what do my 2 straight sides look like? And what does my curly side look like? What is the specific thing? What are the colors on my piece of the puzzle piece? Am I on the top right, top left, bottom right, bottom left? Where in the puzzle do I fit, right? Because when you know that you're supposed to be that you were created to be in the top right, then amazing things happen. Then you can fully walk in that purpose, right? You can say, I am the top right-hand corner piece of this puzzle and I own it. This is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to be. That's the first thing, is to own what God shows you and say, thank you, God, that this is the way you made me to be, and I own it and I show up. And then the second part of that naturally happens is then you stop comparing yourself to every other piece of the puzzle. And it's no longer about your potential that goes, oh, but if I cut my square pieces, then I could have 4 curly pieces. And if I had 2 holes here and 2 sticky out bits here, then I could fit into that hole right there. But the thing is that you weren't made to fit into that hole right there. You were made to be the top right-hand side of the puzzle, top right-hand corner of the puzzle. So why would you want to be something else? So that's the second beautiful thing that happens, is that you stop comparing yourself to everyone else and trying to be something that you're not. So one is to own it, to hear from God and to say, I own what it is that you made me to be. Second of all, what will happen is that comparison falls away and you no longer have to spend any energy comparing yourself to somebody else, right? And then the third beautiful thing that happens is, because God gives us free will and because he loves us and loves to walk through life with us, when we own it and when we stop trying to be something else, we actually get to take hold of all of the love, the compassion, the wisdom, the guidance, the leading, the power of heaven to help us to be fully what we were created to be. I remember we came to school here in Reading about 6.5 years ago, and in the first year of the school, I had my hands up, I was worshiping, but inside I was really frustrated. I was mad at God. I'm like, God, I want to know my purpose. I want to know why I'm here. Why aren't you doing the things that I'm asking you to do? Who's been there, right? That's just, thank God he's big enough to let us shout at him, let us be frustrated. And he's like, okay, I hear you. It's good. Let's walk through this. And I was wrestling with him. And he said to me, I said, look, what have I got to do? What have I got to do? Tell me what I'm going to do and I'll do it, because I'm a doer, right? And my love language is active service. And he just gently whispered to me and he said, Lisa, I'm not asking you to do anything. And of course, a whole lot of weight just went off my shoulders. And he said to me, Lisa, I am just asking you to show up. And I said, Lord, what does that mean? It sounds way too simple. Because remember, we try to make things complicated, right? And I said, Lord, that just sounds so simple. It can't be right. It's got to be more than that. I said, will you tell me what showing up means? And he said, Lisa, I just need you to wake up each morning and go, God, I'm here. This is where a lot of where Adventures with Jesus today was born, that it's today. The invitation is for today, right? His mercies are new this morning, wherever you are in the world. And to be able to just get up in the morning and go, Lord, today I say yes. I don't feel so good today. I didn't sleep very well. I'm worried about stuff. But Lord, and I've got about 10% to bring, but I say yes to bringing my 10%. I say yes to fully bringing all that I have today. And then you know what he said to me? He said, Lisa, if you will show up, then I will show off. Which of course is the whole essence of the good news of the gospel, is that Jesus is the strong one. He's the one that gets to come walk alongside us. He gets to come do things with us, for us. He has greater wisdom than we do, greater insight than we do. He has more strength than we do. He's able to get through things more than we do. That's what grace is, right? Mercy is when God looks at us and goes, oh man, I see your day. I see that it hasn't been great. I see that you're struggling with this, or that you're knocking your head against this thing and you can't seem to get through. And then grace says, so let me give you the wisdom, the power, the compassion of heaven to be able to help you with this situation. That is the beauty of what Jesus did. And so I want to encourage you to take a little bit of time, and this has been a months-long journey for me. So I just have a special place in my journal, and every time I think of something, every time he gives me a little piece of the puzzle, of my piece of the puzzle, and what I'm created to be and who I am, then I just add it to this document. So I encourage you to just keep an open place where he can just keep on showing you who you are, and take the time to sit with him and ask him who you are, embrace who you are, which will lead you to stop comparing yourself to others, and then say, God, I show up, and I am so excited about you showing off through my life, showing the world who you are. This is the invitation for the whole of the body of Christ, that it is not in our own strength, it's not in our own effort, but we get to say, I show up today. I have 10% to give today, Lord. And you know what? He will top up the other 90%, so that together the two of you go out into the day in 100%. If you wake up and it's an awesome day and you can feel good and you can do stuff and you've got 80%, then you bring your 80% and God will top up the 20%, and together you'll go out 100% into the day. This is the invitation to adventure. So I want to extend this to you. Jesus and I are extending this invitation to you. Come across and visit us at awjtoday.com. We are building this tribe of people that just love to see what each day's purpose is and bring the potential of that day into the purpose and show the world who God is. Live the best version of our lives that God created us to live. And I am so excited to be doing life with you and doing that with you. So, as always, I will end this off with giving you a challenge and an invitation. Jesus is inviting you on an adventure today. Will you accept? We'll see you tomorrow.